to fill in the shoes.
So,
Wait, who
Daniel, what's
who?
happening for the rest of this
Hold on,
year?
hold on, hold on. Who made you acting captain?
It-
Is
yes.
there a log of that in the chat?
The captain said it to me. It was a personal
It was
conversation.
a secret conversation that because of national security,
Yeah,
no one was allowed to know.
as acting spy master, I can't exactly give you the details of the conversation, but I can confirm.
This will be, by the way, this will be the last Gungans and Dragons episode before the new year. Because we're
Nice.
next, because the Wednesday is New Year's Eve, right?
It is.
Right.
Yes.
And wait, what?
We're 3 days
Tuesdays.
away.
Tuesday is New Year's Eve. Isn't
Oh, right. So Wednesday is New Year's. Okay. So
New Year's Day.
right. So there is a live show. The Jedi Enclave presents. This is podcasting podcast. We'll be doing. Man, the timing of this really sucks because that's when we're doing our the good, the bad, and the fucking terrible 2024, but it will officially be 2025. So I don't know. We'll figure that out. But we'll also be talking about the last couple of episodes of Skeleton Crew, and then probably Marvel What If, which has been dropping an episode of like an episode a day since I don't know, a few days ago. And we'll probably talk about that. And also, I'm not sure. We might talk about the Squid Game. This can be a very long podcast. The thing is, I'm not sure we're
Sounds
talking.
like it.
I don't know if we're talking about the Squid Game because I'm pretty sure Chris hates Squid Game. So that might just be something that we'll just have to. Yeah, I haven't watched it either yet. So that'll be on Wednesday. I think tomorrow, since we're not doing we're doing our Gungans and Dragons today instead of tomorrow. So I think tomorrow will probably be some more time spent with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle during our regular time. So yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the last Gungans and Dragons Pirates of Drinax edition game of 2024. You all made it with your original characters, something that I was not banking on in the beginning of this campaign.
The benefits of being a coward.
Wow, you really had a lot of faith.
I have played personally through 3 different campaigns, and I've run 3 different campaigns, and this system.
We didn't need your resume, Richard. Just get on with it, for fuck's sake.
Statistically, this is a much harder game to survive in than Dungeons and Dragons, for example.
Did you just say Dungeons and Dragons was for pussies? Because I'm pretty sure you
Yes.
just said that Dungeons and Dragons was for pussies.
He said, "Fuck elves. It's all about space octopus."
Also,
But last time when we left off, you all had a few conversations about psionics at the village before leaving for the town to kind of scout it out first. You stopped about 10 kilometers from the town, leaving your ship and crew there with the rest of the core group proceeding on foot through the forest to the town. Surprisingly, it was Slems that managed to expertly lead you through this unfamiliar terrain and even got you there sooner than possible. But once you reached the farmland, things got a little bit out of control when Slems just saw the sign of some slight civilization and just went pell-mell running right for it.
I'm buying a
was-
stun
I
gun.
was
By the way,
sweating so
I'm warning you.
much.
I'm warning you right now. I'm buying a stun gun. The next time we are somewhere we can buy stuff, and it's going to become a running gag. I'm just going to start shooting you with a stun gun every time I think you're going to do something like that.
It
Just
sounds
do mine
heavenly. You mean I
every
don't have to
time.
walk anymore?
Yeah, I don't know
I'll
how
just stand
I don't
in
know how
line.
we're gonna move you, but I'll figure that out later.
I have the
You
grav
found-
belt.
Yeah,
You
I was
just
about to
turn
say,
it
what
on
does
and
turn
tie
your
a
grav
rope
belt
to me.
on?
I'm like a balloon.
What were you saying, April?
I said I'll just hand you mine. All you have to do is ask.
Oh, do you have one?
Yes.
Oh, we should think of a sign, like a sound or
A
something.
hand signal.
Yeah, that I'll make, and you just like pull it out and shoot Slems, no questions asked.
Well, you did manage to speak to the locals, and oddly enough, these ones did not know Galactic. They just knew their regular old language, which unfortunately Slems does not have the capability of speaking. But you did manage to mime that you were hungry, and they fed you with some local produce. Unfortunately, this wasn't a big enough of a distraction to let Ukluna go around because you were spotted by the locals and kind of revealed. One of the nearby Marines from the town ended up, while you guys were speaking to the locals in the field, landed and started to talk to you. Although, unfortunately, the captain and the rest of the team were not on the same page, which led to a bit of a conflicting story. So the Marine at the end of the session has radioed in your presence and is saying that he is bringing you in.
Which I think is fine because it was kind of our mission to talk to whoever's in charge anyway at some point, right?
It was Slem's plan all along.
Yeah, we've got him right
you know,
where we
to
want him.
expedite the mission. Exactly.
Well, the Marine lifts off in his battle dress about 6 feet into the air, pointing his rifle towards you all, and he says, "All right, start marching to the town. I'm going to take you to the captain."
Slems looks at him smugly and he says, "Well, it's not the first time I've taken orders from a man in a dress," and starts walking.
You got shit all over your face.
Oh.
Your face is still kind of covered in that sort of like ground meat material that was inside the gourd.
Okay, I just now notice it and start wiping it off.
All right, is everyone proceeding along?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you head along the dirt road, about 100 feet away from the town, kind of transforms into like a cobblestone street. The cobblestones themselves don't appear to be all that secure in the road. Many of them are a little bit loose, and you find yourselves tripping on them occasionally. The majority of what you see as you head in are just more of these farmlands populated by the last people. The gate itself, as you get a lot closer to it, looks very primitive. You can see that it seems to be mostly held in place by gravity. There's no mortar, and in some places looks a bit lopsided. There's not a proper door to it either, so it's permanently open. As you get in, you can see there's a variety of buildings, a mixture of primitive stone and wooden buildings that look a lot more whole than the others. And as you kind of pass by, you come to the realization that these wooden buildings weren't made of felled logs or anything, but appear to be shaped trees that have been reformed into the basic shape of a human-style building.
Oh, okay.
You can see last people are here as well, kind of dressed in this primitive, like surf gear, which is usually just a tunic. But you can also see now signs of humans walking through the streets. They are dressed in fine Imperium garb. And those of you from the Imperium, so in this case it's going to be Ukluna, you can recognize that they're all dressed in formal uniforms.
They've got their
and
dress
clothing.
blues on.
Yes, and all throughout the buildings, you can see the repeated pattern of 3 stars in the windows, surrounded by a circle, which, as someone who grew up in the Imperium, you know these to be traditional Emperor's Day decorations. In fact, as you walk down, you could, from some of these side streets, you can actually hear some of the locals, all of them humans, singing kind of like traditional Emperor's Days melodies.
And what do those melodies sound like?
I am a little bit better after being sick, but I'm not going to be able to reach those. But
Sing it down an octave.
You're 2 days away from Emperor's Day itself, and most of them are geared upon the Second Imperium and how it was formed from the people of the Sol System.
Soul system, soul system. Is that the song they're singing?
Gotta have that soul system.
Yeah. Let's say that's one of the songs there.
Hold on, I'm gonna get you lyrics for a song, Richard.
And
The
you
scene
are,
was directed by Taika Waititi.
but so far no one's approaching you as you are being led down the street. As you are heading towards the main keep located within the center of the city, the Marine who's behind you suddenly says, "Hold on," and tilts his head to the side. And then after a second he says, "Okay, head down that left street."
Okay.
We do that.
Okay.
Single file.
You find yourself heading towards another large building, but not as large as the main keep. It looks to be like a longhouse, which has several practice fields in the front, where you can see human Marines are doing some practice drills out of armor in front of it. There are several Marines who are in battle dress who are watching, and there is one kind of sat on a throne in front of the in front of the longhouse, who is wearing blue and gold armor that has the 3 stars embedded in the forehead of the helmet. For Ukluna, can you roll for me 2d6 plus, let's see, 2?
Yeah, if you take a look at the lyrics I had made for you there. Oh, that's a 2d20. It's like, wait. 6.
Ah. 6. So, as you see that, something strikes you a little bit off about that, about the positioning of the 3 stars on his forehead, but you can't remember why. Your Marine leads you right up to him, and the golden blue figure stands up and says, "Ah, so you are the mercenaries that have come across our door, or possibly members of the Imperium."
I am a member of the Imperium, and let me tell you, your stars seem a little strange to me, but I can't put my finger on why.
He starts laughing, and it's like bellowing, like, belly laugh that almost puts. For a second it looks like he's gonna almost fall to his knees wheezing, but then he kind of straightens up and says, it's been a while. So you don't know much about the actual royal family, do you?
Do I know anything about the actual royal family?
2d6 plus 2.
Another 6. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, so no, you don't. You actually don't know all that much about the.
Yeah, I guess I don't. I've gotten
Do you want to admit? Do you want to admit to it, or
I'll shrug and say I know enough about the royal family to have gotten me this far.
All right. Well, this Marine, looks down at you, and you also notice that his battle dress is bigger than everyone else's. He's actually about 8 feet tall as he's wearing it.
Probably not.
I wonder what he's
compensating for something. Yeah.
Could he be taller?
He says,
That's all I'm asking.
well.
Can I ask him what size his dick is? What?
My father's name is Strefan Ayala Alcalaikio.
That's a name you've said a lot in your life. You are very clearly familiar with that name.
With your own name.
Yeah. With your father's name.
So
I'm gonna guess you call him Dad for short.
But my name is Vigilin Cowenbort.
That's a cool name.
Well, I'm Akluna. These are my associates, Slems, Andrew, and our captain, who, as you look at him, might seem like he's not physically present, but he is. He's here. He's just, his mind is somewhere else, and his name is
meditating.
Yeah,
It's an active meditation.
He's trying to calm himself before losing his shit on you.
Okay, so this guy just casually name dropped that his father is the emperor.
Oh. Cool.
But you also realize with the name that he gave, he's not carrying his father's name.
Oh, so okay. So the emperor is
We're
your
not gonna make
dad.
a big deal of it.
But the empress, the queen, isn't necessarily your mother, is what you're saying.
The Marine who brought you here, he sticks the his rifle into your back and says, "Hey, none of that."
I asked a question. None of what?
Vigilin raises his hand, and the Marine withdraws his rifle from your back, and Vigilin says, "It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'm a bastard."
I don't give a fuck. I'm a bastard too. I mean, the Emperor's not my dad.
Technically speaking, I am still a Viscount of the Imperium. Not officially part of any succession plans for the Emperor, but he shrugs his shoulders. You never know.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. You've set yourself up here pretty nice, though. So you've always got this.
Oh, I'm just in charge of the Marines here. The real person in charge of this operation is Captain Tirithark, who's at the keep.
Is he your boss, your supervisor?
He scratches at his helmet for a second, and then shrugs again. Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, he is my superior officer on the shipyards.
Huh. Can I do a persuade on this guy?
What are you trying to persuade?
That he should be the one in charge.
How are you saying that?
I was gonna drop a subtle line saying something to the effect of, well, the son of the emperor should probably be in charge of everything. A little bit of emotional
Okay.
manipulation.
You could roll for it.
Can you tell me what to roll?
Yeah. Does your character have persuasion? Oh, you do have
Yeah,
persuasion.
I think I do.
2d6 plus 5.
11.
Ugh,
I got a 6
man,
again. Jesus.
Impossible to break that roll.
He laughs as you say that, and he's like, "Well, I try not to live my life by just who my father is, but you'll see how things work here anyway."
Yeah, but I mean, royal blood is royal blood, though. That shit's potent. It makes leaders.
But in all honesty, after hearing your story over the comms, I did want to speak to you all, just possibly before you all die. Mostly because I'm a little concerned.
About,
Why you're here.
well, can I level with you?
He sits on this throne and puts out both of his hands. Please.
We are here on a rescue operation to recover the lost station that you were a part of. And everything kind of went downhill from there. We ran into a dragon that now lives in our ship, but not his body, just his mind. We're not really sure how he did that. And he wanted us to come over here and kill you guys. And so now we're just trying to figure out why he doesn't like you guys so much.
That is quite the reveal there.
Yeah, it's been a really weird last couple of days.
So you have been...
Andrew just kind of mouths, "You have no idea."
What was that?
So
Andrew just kind of mouths without really even speaking, "You have no idea."
So Vigilant kind of just pauses and says, "So, assuming you manage this mission from this dragon..."
Oh, let me hold on. Let me cut you off right there. We told the dragon we were going to do what he said, but we're pretty motivated to find our own facts, and this isn't something we're necessarily married to.
Oh, no. I'm just curious that what reward would you be getting in return for killing us all, presumably?
I don't. I'm going to look to Andrew. I guess we get to leave with a
Yeah,
shrug.
we get to leave, and we get to leave with our ship instead of him killing us all.
Yeah.
We're kind of over a barrel here.
And the shipyard? Would you leave without that?
Oh, if we killed you? I can't remember. Was that a part of the deal? I think it might be. I don't know. As you can imagine, we weren't too keen on killing a bunch of our own countrymen. So we thought we'd come over and have a chat with you guys first.
Over the radio, it sounded like at least a couple of you weren't countrymen.
Well, let's just say that the country... Yeah, so first of all, there are a couple of members of the crew who tend to spin stories when they get nervous. And so you'll have to excuse my friends who aren't necessarily a part of the Imperium.
I'm a local, but I'm loyal to my captain. So.
Yeah, I mean we're here to do a job. Some of us are Imperium, some of us are not. What we can agree is that we're all human.
All of your crew is human.
No, well, not all of them. We got a couple. We have like one non-human, right?
A couple of non-humans.
Yeah.
Andrew holds up 2 fingers.
Yeah. But again, our loyalties to our captain. We're not here on any blood vendettas or anything against the Imperium. I mean, I was a part of.
It occurs for me to ask you, you said you were initially hired for a rescue mission for the shipyards. Who hired you?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna. I want to find our character sheets.
And if you're curious why I rolled, it was just to see if this question would have occurred to the NPC,
Okay.
and it did.
So, did we pin our character sheets or anything? Because I would like to have mine open. So well, hold on. I actually might have it. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Upload it again.
Well, I might. Hold on a second. Don't trouble yourself yet. Yeah, I've got it. And also, I need to ask a couple of lore questions because I'm ignorant about them. I want to make sure I have my facts straight before I say anything. The what is the relationship between the king that we work for and the Imperium? They're at odds, right?
Yes.
Officially, Drinax is an independent world, and basically is so small that the Imperium wouldn't really bother with them.
Hey guys, sorry about
Okay.
that.
Hey, buddy.
So
Hey, Sean?
I would. What's up, Sean? I'm going to make a deception effort here.
Okay.
So I have one deception. So what would my roll be?
2d6 plus 1.
Yeah, but I would say in this case your social can influence it, so that would be 2d6 plus 3.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that Imperium intelligence sent us to recover the station. The station is an Imperium station, right?
It's an Imperium shipyard.
Shipyard, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. And Sean, please pay attention to this because we might need to keep track of this lie so that we don't lose track of it later.
Is the lie that we're Imperium or is the lie that we're mercenaries?
The lies that
yeah.
were mercenaries who were hired by Imperium Intelligence.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
With which Aclona has former associations.
Right.
You know, off the books, so we wouldn't have to report that A,
Exactly.
the lost was lost, and B, the lost was found.
So am I abandoning the lie then, or am I abandoning the whole used to be a captain but I was dismissed?
Well, you still used to be a captain and were dismissed. Those facts are not in dispute.
Did you?
Okay, so what's the wording that you give him?
Does it matter? Because did his roll beat mine?
You'll see what happens. I just want the wording that you're giving me.
Okay. The gist of it will be that because of the sensitive nature of the shipyard, and to avoid the fact that the station was, or the shipyard was lost, that Imperium Intelligence hired a crew that wasn't a part of the government to go after the shipyard in a like a black ops mercenary kind of fashion.
Since you are
All
former
right.
Imperium Intelligence, since you are part of Imperium Intelligence.
Right.
Well, at that, Vigilin pauses for a second and nods slowly. Says, "Ah, I can see that. So, considering the sector that we're in, the Trojan Reach, obviously, uh, it must have been Proctor Norn that issued this order for you all."
So I'm gonna have to roll to figure out who's. I mean, do I know who the head of intelligence is? Can I call him on his bullshit? Because he, like, I suspect he might be bluffing.
Roll 2d6 plus 2. You have heard of a Proctor Norn working in intelligence. But you specifically can't recall which sector that they were attached to. This was a very hard roll to make.
Of course it was.
But you do recognize the name.
Okay, so I'll say that I'll just say that yes, I'm familiar with the name, but I was not aware that's the sector he was in.
Well, Vigilin stands up and says, "Well, it's been nice to meet you all. I can't imagine that any decisions are going to be made until after Emperor's Day. I won't keep you any longer." And he kind of nods to the Marine that brought you here. Yes, Jack, bring them to the captain now. It was my pleasure meeting you all.
You too.
No, it was our pleasure meeting you.
It was your pleasure meeting you.
So actually, this probably would mean more to your character almost right now, Sean, because this Marine that's in front of you, he's wearing a battle dress that's better than everybody else's. It's painted blue and gold. It has 3 stars on the forehead of the helmet. It's a bastard son of the Emperor, and his name is Vigilin Cowenbort.
Oh, interesting.
A Viscount of the Imperium.
He's he's real spotty on his dad's name. We can't really figure out why.
He's the one in charge of all the Marines over here.
Would I have known him when I was younger or before or no?
No.
Could I give like a good greeting to him, like, "Oh, hey, it's or something, like be like, "Hey, good to meet like another member."
I think the conversation's kind of run its course. You got here like right at the tail end.
Let's see if you could give him a fancy goodbye then.
Okay.
Let's see, what would be... Let's make this an advocate roll. So 2d6 plus 5 for you.
Okay.
Actually, no. This is all about social standing. So 2d6 plus 7.
Wow, 10.
Fake it to make it.
So are you trying to make this as fancy as possible for someone who has come from the Emperor's loins?
I mean, not really not really as fancy as possible. More like, he's probably he thinks he's been on this rock for like what, 3 years or something, right? Mm-hmm. On this planet, from the conversation last session. So maybe he won't try to be as fancy as possible, but he'll try to give him like more of like a noble goodbye, I guess, or just some, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
You give him this kind of like your feet snap together and you give him this immaculate bow that just bends your body perfectly in half. You keep your back straight the whole time, looking down at the ground while putting one arm forward like you would a superior. You hear him kind of cough, and then when you look up, he takes his helmet off, and he gives you a nod, but he's frowning.
Gotcha. I'll ask him what's wrong.
When he takes the helmet off, this guy looks like it. He's pretty well tanned. He has this hair that is just platinum blonde, and his face is covered in scars.
Okay. I don't.
And he just watches you all leave at this point.
Okay. Did I make a bad first impression?
You don't know. It might give you more insight to his character. It might not.
Gotcha.
As you head down the rest of the streets, Jack says, "So, Imperial intelligence, huh?"
Yes.
Spooks, huh?
No.
Narcs, huh?
Okay, I'm gonna stop dignifying these with a response.
Hey, Jack, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Is there a place to like? Can we get like? Is there like any place like to get a bite to eat around here?
Can you show me where the bathroom is?
You're gonna go see the captain first, and then he's gonna be in charge of saying where you'll eat or not. I assume that if he wants to have you all executed, that it won't happen until after the feasts.
Well,
But you might get something nice to eat.
Oh well, I mean that's good.
Guys,
so
I'm
you're-
starting
so
to
you're
think that the captain isn't really cool.
Talk about me or the other guy?
No, the captain we're going to see.
We won't
So
want.
you are led to the keep. As you get closer to the keep, you see more and more human activity and fewer of the last people. You can see a lot more decorations have been put up. In some cases, other than the 3-star symbol, you can see that for some homes, they're actually being decorated with little emblems of their specific planet as well. You can smell a variety of different foods in the air. As you can see, people are doing one of the traditional sort of like tasks of the holiday, which is the exchange of native foods. So if you're from one planet and your neighbor's from another planet, it's expected that you will be sharing the bounty of your labors with each other. And it looks like that's what they're doing right now. You are brought to the keep itself, which seems a lot more secure than the outer walls. For one thing, this one actually does have a proper gate. Being brought into the keep, it looks like it's about 3 stories tall. As you walk in, there are about 4 more Marines right here that are at the door, and in front of them you can see dressed in a dress captain's uniform, a woman in her 30s. She has a kind of dour expression on her face as you all march up, and she looks at all of you and says, "So, how may I address you all? I am Captain Tirathark Dani."
I am. Am I giving my real name or a fake name?
You've already given them your real name.
I think that's your.
It's up
I
to
think that's
you.
it's your choice.
Okay. I am Captain Gani McCour, and this is my crew.
I'm gonna wave sheepishly.
She pauses for a second. Danny McCore, the novelist?
Yes. Well, novelist and also captain.
And brilliant tactician. I'll insert myself.
And gunner and pilot.
Yeah.
You see her. You see her eyeing the people around her as you say captain, and she kind of she coughs into her hand and says, yes, captain. I've been radioed by my head of Marines that you have been hired by the intelligence service to assist us in getting off of this world.
That is yes, that is correct, Miss. I'll be like that. That is correct, sir.
You.
You could call me Captain Danny.
Captain Danny. Is that what you said, Richard? Danny?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Oh, that is correct, Captain Danny.
It's Tara Thark Danny is her full name.
Okay.
Right. Well, we are close to Emperor's Day, and I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. While vetting you, I'd like you all to hand over any weapons you might possess now.
Slums doesn't have any weapons on him.
Andrew looks to the captain as would be expected of her.
So I'll say, I mean, surely surely, we're both, on the same side here. Surely we won't use our weapons against you,
Like we'd stand a chance against your Marines anyway.
Yeah.
I was informed that you were hired by a dragon to kill us all as well.
Well, I don't know if hired is the right word. We spoke to a dragon that's real pissed off at you, but
Less hired, more forced.
yeah.
Yes, so while I deduce how much influence has been put upon you, I would like it if your crew would relinquish their weapons. Obviously, since you're their captain, you may hold on to that sword of yours.
Oh, all right, cool. Yeah, everyone else give me your weapons.
All right. I'll give her the weapons that, like, what do I have? Like a rapier and a pistol or something. I'll give those to her.
Ukluna. Yes, you have a flechette pistol, a rapier, and a long blade.
But anyway, you've heard of me before then. Oh, sorry.
And is Andrew turning over her weapons?
Andrew very easily unslings the carbine and hands it over. She reluctantly looks at the sword on her belt, and after a moment, sighs and does the same.
The captain nods at you all and says,
"Be very careful
Good.
with that. It's an antique."
The Marine, Jack, the Marine who's been with you, takes it and says, "All right, I'll make sure you get it back." Ooh, what does this button do? Turns it on, and it kind of thrums in the air, and you hear him go, "Ooh, this is a neat toy." And then he turns it off.
Well, if you're good and we live to see dinner, I'll tell you the story.
The captain says, "Look, don't leave the town. I'm going to assign a Marine escort for you while you're in the town. You can have lodgings. You can be fed. But you, and she points at Ganny McCore, I'd like a word in my office. Follow me.
Okay. I'll be like,
And she goes into the keep.
Okay.
As Gani McCore walks past me, I'm going to whisper, make sure you find out what their beef is with the other dragon.
Yeah, for sure. Also, how'd they know we were, that hiring thing? I whisper back.
We told them.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
I told them the
Somebody
truth.
put all our cards. Somebody put all our cards on the table while you were in transit.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's easier to lie with more facts.
Andrew kind of gives you the look, as if gives Gunny the look as if you haven't dismissed me yet, so I'm not leaving. Look.
Oh, I'll be like, yeah, everyone, go have fun and stuff,
If you're sure, sir.
Oh, I'm sure. Don't worry. I'm sure everything will be fine.
All right. So Jack and another Marine kind of split off and sort of kind of guide you from the courtyard to a nearby building where, as you get in, you realize it's a food hall where they are being served by last people, and it looks like there are a few human technicians that are involved as well, of kind of, supervising everything. They are leading you to one of the tables. Hold on just 1 second. Okay. Ukluna. Roll for me 2d6 plus 1. Okay. There are a lot of people within this this food hall, and all of you are kind of getting bumped against as you get to your table. But as you get put onto the table, they're all bringing you a variety of different dishes that all smell brilliant. There's an eclectic mix of different spices and whatnot, and you're all very pleasantly surprised at, actually very surprised at how well cuisines from at least a dozen different worlds have seemingly been replicated here.
Wow.
Especially since you haven't really seen all that much examples of like higher technology beyond their weapons and the battle dress.
Slems, who has guided our team through hours and hours of jungle, and who has been wanting to eat the entire day, at the sight of such meals, immediately just starts grabbing fistfuls onto its plate and just tearing into it.
Can I?
Jack will laugh at Slems and then kind of like he's taken his helmet off at this point and will pat you on the shoulders like, by the Emperor, you have such an appetite. Well, his blessings extend to you today.
Can you say that again? Sorry, it cut out a little.
Okay. He says, by the Emperor, you have such an appetite. Well, don't worry, his blessings extend to you today.
I say, with a mouthful of food, all hail the Emperor.
All right, Daniel.
Can I ask him about how how they're able to prepare such a variety of food?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I'm not really involved in it, but yeah.
Who is involved?
Little...
The first, or the other people, low people?
Yeah, apparently, the people involved in these sort of logistics have gotten these little guys to provide a lot of these things.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't seem all that smart to me. I mean, they can't even speak Galactic, but yeah, they could really make a mean dish.
And I assume that you haven't tried to converse with them in their language, right?
Well, I don't know their language.
Okay.
No one
Why
here does.
bother, am I right? Of course, mouthful of food.
I mean, we've done our best to teach them, the proper Imperium way of acting and,
Oh, fuck.
forming a proper society.
Oh, they're doing a Pocahontas.
And you're just
In all honesty, it's great that they now have some guidance from us in that way. They were all just living in little huts before we arrived. Completely aimless.
Ah, colonizers. You hate them.
I'm gonna have a boilerplate smile and nod.
Halfway through your meal, Ukluna, you'll realize that there's something in one of your pockets. And it feels like a piece of paper.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Wow. Can I unfold it subtly under the table?
Yeah, everyone seemingly is a bit distracted by the conversation and the food right now, and it's loud.
how many people are in here?
10,000.
As you look around, you have clocked within this
100
food hall.
million.
There's about 80 people.
That was close.
Would you say 10 million?
I said 100
No.
million.
Oh, yeah. You were rounding up.
Yeah.
But looking underneath the table, you can spot on this little scrap of paper, there is some sort of cipher written down there, not in Galactic, not in Volani, and you recognize it almost immediately because this is one of the first ciphers your first handler taught you within the Imperium intelligence services.
Okay.
And it says, meet me by the gate at midnight.
What time is it now?
Now, let's say it's more like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right, so we have quite a bit of time.
All right. Meanwhile, in the keep, you've been led by Captain Danny into it looks like kind of like an office of sorts. There's been a desk that's being made out of crude stone, and she sits at a chair and she kind of like wearily sits down and looks up at you and says, "What the hell are you doing here?"
I guess. What do you mean? Like, in what context?
Also, since he wasn't here for the spinning of some of our lies, can we kind of fill him in when his knowledge is,
Sure.
Okay. Because that's not his fault. Like if he doesn't know what we kind of cooked up. Okay, so what I told them was that we were hired in an off the books operation by Imperial Intelligence to locate the shipyard and to rescue its crew and to bring them back.
Sounds good.
And I also told them about I more or less gave them an accurate accounting of our situation with the other dragon, like about how he wants us to come over here and kill them. But I told them that obviously, since they're fellow humans and they're in the Imperium, that like we said that we would commit to it, but we actually didn't necessarily have like we weren't necessarily going to do it.
Right.
Okay, is that all the update?
Did I miss anything? Anyone else?
I mean, that's the 5,000-foot view. We did admit that, you know, some of us are not Imperials, so it's not a secret.
Right. Which I mean, you know, the intelligence service would, you know, they would have more unorthodox methods for sensitive operations anyway. So that wouldn't be a huge
So
deal.
we would be, there are non-Imperials, but they're they're loyal to our captain.
Okay. So, Captain Danny looks at you again, Gani McCoy, and says, "Are you still claiming to be a captain?"
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna note.
Technically,
to
I
you,
am a captain. I have a
Slim
ship.
chokes on his food.
I'm going to note to you that my mentor is Admiral Westing.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Her.
God, we cannot get away from her. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
So I'm sorry to say, even though I did enjoy your book about finances and strategy, that I know why you left the service, and that you weren't truly an Imperium captain.
Sean, did you write a financial book like a get rich quick thing?
no, I thought I just wrote like a
How
normal-
military tactics can apply to your life.
Yeah, basically that's what you did.
Like a self-help thing?
The whitewashing of the art of war.
Always make sure your opponent is looking into the sun.
That's why he's so famous.
All right. Okay. So I'll say okay. So here's the truth. Here's the truth, and I swear, and I swear on myself, or I swear on. Yeah, whatever. I swear. I swear on myself here.
I'm already convinced. Sorry,
okay.
Sean. You just never mind. Okay.
Trying to find the right words.
I know, I get it. I was trying to do the same thing earlier, but it's just funny.
Sean, you need to start quoting yourself from things you've written in your book as like your rebuttal. You know, as I wrote on page 37.
It was just the I swear on whatever.
Yeah, I'll say. Anyway, though, as I swear on the words I wrote in my book. Here's the thing. I was technically an Imperium captain for about 5 minutes. I got honorably discharged at the rank of captain.
Only to avoid a dishonorable discharge and a prison stint that you would have had otherwise.
Yeah, so me being a captain isn't a lie here. And if we're laying all our cards on the table here, I am also a captain. Of a ship. I am the captain of this crew.
She pauses and says, "What sort of ship are we talking about?"
Okay, this doesn't leave this room, if that's okay.
She straightens up in her chair. "Excuse me?"
I said, if it's okay, this doesn't leave this room, please.
"What sort of ship do you command?"
Okay. I don't know.
Normal one.
It's the mercenary kind.
A perfectly normal one that she's not interested
The mercenary kind.
It's the mercenary
all
kind of
these
ship.
voices are in Gani McCoy's head.
Sorry.
And he realizes he's alone in this room.
It's my new psionic abilities. I've suddenly found a telepathic link between me and Gani McCoy.
He's thinking, God, what would Andrew say in this situation?
Yeah. Yeah, we're the little we're like the little devils and the little angels on your shoulders.
I'll be like, okay, so the type of captain I'm a ship of right now is the mercenary type.
And the model of the said ship? And
Uh,
please tell me you know what the model of the ship is that you're captaining.
well, yeah, of
Or
course I know
maybe
the model.
or maybe Admiral Westing was truly right about you.
Yeah, of course I know the model of my own ship that I'm captain of. What's the model of my ship, Richard?
Well, it's a
Are you
Harrier
are you gonna,
class.
are you going to tell her the precise model and class of it?
I mean, I don't want to, but like,
You would be able to think, as a military man, you'd be able to think of something similar that is not so famous,
yeah, can I do that?
infamous.
Okay. Roll for me.
It's the Black Pearl.
You are the worst person I've ever heard of, but I've heard of.
But you have heard of me.
That's pretty much Connie McCurry everywhere we go.
Yeah, right. Ah, but you've heard of me.
2d6 plus, let's do this on naval tactics. So 2d6 plus 2.
Okay, cool. 10.
You kind of rack your brains for a moment, and you tell her that you have a mercenary cruiser. It's about the same size as your Harrier, but a lot less technologically advanced.
Gotcha.
She kind of leans back and says, honestly, my biggest problem with your story is the fact that Imperium intelligence knows why you left. Why did they hire you?
I mean, honestly, at least from from what I was told, it was because here I was a how everything went down. I think they were scared maybe I might have went to like a you know I think they were worried I might have gone to like like a different you know faction maybe. Gave them all the Imperium info I knew about.
She snorts and says, "What?
Hold on.
Admiral Westing told me she kept tabs on you, and even pirates refused to have you have you join them. That's why you became a politician."
Well, right, but I meant like it's been some time, like
Didn't
they kind
I
of reached out to me.
didn't I make something up about this in my little spiel when we were talking to what's his name?
Just that we were a good cutout because we're not specifically an Imperium crew.
I'm trying to remember the question that she asked. She said, "Why would intelligence hire you?"
Yeah,
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the question was now.
She says, "Look, here are my cards on the table. I've been spending 3 years to make sure that my crew survive this ordeal, and we get that shipyard back to the Imperium where it's needed."
I really want to talk.
Things within the Imperium right now, as you may or may not know, have been getting a bit tense on the frontier. According to intelligence, we might have a 5th frontier war on our hands soon.
Has that already happened, Richard? Out of game?
No, but there have been 4 frontier wars before this.
Is that like a world war kind of thing?
They are protracted engagements. The last one was between the Imperium and the Zidani and lasted about 70 years.
So it isn't like a universe encompassing like
It can encompass lots of different worlds, and in fact, several worlds were rendered uninhabitable because
It is
of
a
it.
concerted attack on the edges of Imperial space,
Okay. So it would be
as opposed
like
to a raid on a single planet.
okay. So if you were to scale it up, it would kind of be as big a deal as like World War or something.
So they've actually been here 30 years, right?
No, 3.
Wait, I thought.
No, we made that up.
You tried to make that a lie to the guy that there's a time warp. You've been here 30 years.
Oh no. Oh, okay. I thought they were okay. I thought that
No,
was like a
3 years.
time. Okay, gotcha.
No. You made that up.
Which, by the way, let me do all the lying. I have a good. Well, I have a good persuade anyway. I guess I don't have a good deception.
Okay, well, I was about to say, it's actually been 30 years, but okay, I won't do that now.
Yeah, don't
I
do
guess-
that.
For some reason, I thought it has been 30, but I guess I forgot that.
It's been 86 years.
Danny McCord drank his own Kool-Aid.
Right. Okay. Well, so I guess what are you trying to? So right, I understand you want to get that thing back up and moving to get it back to the Imperium, but why do you
So I'm
need?
stressing to you that you cannot get in the way of my operation.
Right, but what is your operation?
It's for those who need to know. But considering your presence here, I am willing to incorporate your team in the process, though I am concerned that you have been influenced by an alien.
I mean, I haven't been influenced by anything.
Not this dragon.
No, I mean, he tasked us.
Apparently, its presence is on your ship.
Yeah, but it hasn't influenced us. Like I'm not under its influence right now. I mean, are you under the other dragon's influence?
That dragon can't tell me what to do. It's not my mom.
Yeah.
She leans back in her chair. So you are aware that we are in contact with another member of its species.
Yeah, we were told that, but like, I mean, I assume you're under no. I assume you're under no influence of the other dragon, just as I'm under no influence of the dragon that told us to come here.
Well, I am a captain who has been in charge of an operation of this scale, so I have had countermeasures installed to prevent psionic influence on my person. She kind of taps at her temple.
And I'll just be like, I mean, look, if you want to point that towards me or something, like you'll see I'm not under any of this dragon's influence.
She sighs and says, "I'm not psionic, you dolt. I have a jammer."
So it shouldn't matter then.
Yeah, so it shouldn't
So
matter.
I am not. If you, she says, if you were influenced, you might not even know it at this point. You might have thought it was your own idea. You could be a sleeper agent right now.
Look,
Any of your crew might.
Yeah, they might be, but like I know they aren't though. Like I know they have their own mental faculties. I can promise you that.
That is the problem with psionics, with Zidani, of their ilk. You cannot know.
Hey, Richard, can you clarify as well? This is a good place for me to ask. We were talking about our passive ability. So those of us who are like diagnosed as psionic or psionic capable or whatever, we were talking the last session about how we would have a passive ability to block.
That was assuming we had training, I think.
Yes. So you haven't been telepathically enabled yet.
Okay, so we don't benefit from that.
Not yet.
Okay.
She says, look, we might be working with one of these things right now to get control of our shipyard again, to get off this world, that does not mean for a damn second that I trust any of them.
Okay, but I mean, okay, here's my question though. If you want off this world, I have a ship. We'll just go right now. Blow up your crew and everything.
Don't have that big of a ship.
Right. Can you transport 600 people on your mercenary cruiser? Oh, wait, I know what the schematics of that ship are. No, you cannot.
You can do it in droves.
Also, your own crew member divulged that there is an entity on your ship right now that wishes for all of my crew to be dead.
That feels a little accusatory.
It's true.
Asshole.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
So why would I load them onto a ship that has been compromised?
Just because, yeah, but just because it says it wants you dead might not mean it wants you actually dead. That might just be good with you guys just leaving the world, you know?
You can see why I wouldn't go with that option, though, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it, but like, you know, like, I can understand it, but I was also able to bargain with this dragon. I feel like,
We were told by your crew that you weren't bargained with at all, that it just demanded things of you and you went along with it.
I don't think we went into that much detail when I told the story.
No,
I think what I said was that
you were coerced, right?
I don't remember saying that at all. I think I remember saying that they wanted us to come and kill you. We said we would without the necessary intention of doing so.
I'm pretty sure Andrew said coerced, but
Said more. I literally said more forced than agreed to.
Oh yeah, I think you might have said, now that you say it, I think you did say that.
look, Captain Danny, I have a question for you. If I was under this thing's, you know, psionics or whatever, if I was under its control, you let me keep my weapon. We're in a room privately right now. Like, if it wanted me to kill you, it would probably have me attack you right now. The reason I'm not attacking you is because you're not my enemy. Like,
she as you talk, she's just pouring herself a drink right now, and she starts to laugh, and she's like, "Well, everything I know about you has basically been that you're not a threat. You have failed in every single endeavor that you've ever been a part of.
Shooter, Sean.
You failed from the Imperium. You wouldn't even be hired by pirates when you tried to do that. Your own sister kicked you out of politics on your own home world, which, oof, that's a bad one.
you know, she was always a jerk though. So,
And
She's an
your
asshole
claim
like
to
you
fame-
are.
Your claim to fame is a book that maybe you can find secondhand at a spaceport these days.
Sean, I'm starting to get the impression she didn't like you very much.
yeah, I'm trying to get. No, I think she's crazy about me. I think she's playing hard. No, I'm just kidding.
You still have a chance. There's still a chance.
Do you think
So
maybe-
no,
do you think a guy like
I don't think you are a danger to me right now, but I think maybe if given the correct moment of opportunity, you could screw up my plans.
okay,
Because, well, at the end of the day, according to Admiral Westing, that's what you were. A screw up.
okay. First of all, that is slander and libel, right? Well, take it. Slander spoken.
Like,
right?
hey, I
Libel.
represent that.
okay. First of all,
Slander, by the way, slander is spoken, libel is printed. Just
gotcha. Thanks. First of all, that is slander, right there from Admiral Westing. Maybe I didn't do the greatest job in the Imperium because of my, whole thing. But like,
You mean your career?
Yeah, but there's there's other reasons for why I was kicked out though, besides from what she's made up.
You mean you trying to get some of the most illegal drugs known to man
No, no,
just
that's
to perpetuate your existence?
no, that's correct. Everything else was slander though. Look, yeah, sure, maybe I screwed things up, but you guys are Imperium. I'm still technically Imperium. I don't want any harm to come to you guys. And it's kind of like if you want us, you want us to help out with this thing that you have. I feel like at least tell me. I won't tell them, but I feel like at least you know I should at least know. So if you don't want me to screw things up, you know what I mean? Because
I
if
need
you
to.
don't, if you
She drinks a little bit more and she says, "I need to consider some things."
I need to get drunk.
no, because if you're worried about me screwing things up, what if I do it accidentally without knowing? But if I know the full plan, then I can't screw it up, right?
Enjoy Emperor's Day. I will talk to my officers and figure out ways in which you and your crew can assist our own activities.
All right. Well, I mean, even though you don't think highly of me, I at least respect you. You seem like a good captain.
Well, that's one of us.
Wow, bitch.
Wait, like she doesn't think she's a good captain?
Yeah, right. I was like, I should say that. I'd be like, you're a fine captain. Don't.
Yeah, you
be too
shouldn't be so
on
hard
yourself."
on yourself. Damn.
Just throws a glass
You're
at
doing
me.
great.
No, Gani won't. I feel like Gani can at least read the room a little bit enough to understand.
It backs away slowly.
All right. All right. Well, anyway. Well, what'd you think of my book anyway? Just out of curiosity.
Honestly, derivative.
Yes. Oh.
You sound like my agent.
Dang, what did you expect?
Okay, I'll keep that food for thought for next time. Thank you, and I'll leave.
I'll keep that comment close to my heart.
What's left of it, apparently.
All right, so about this stage of your meal, you're getting to the end. Gani McCore comes with a Marine kind of guiding him to the food hall.
Slems shows no signs of stopping.
Still
Okay.
stuffing his face.
So good
Yep.
news, everybody. I have some good news and I have some bad news. What do you want first?
The bad news?
I want you to pass the gravy, please, and he gestures over to the saucer.
Oh,
Your
okay.
waist.
Oh, for sure. I'll give you the gravy.
He just starts drinking it directly out of the saucer. Okay,
Okay.
continue, Captain.
You see at this point there are like a team of like 6 of the last people who seem just dedicated just to serving him.
Can you say that again?
There are 6 of the last people who are just dedicated now to serving Slems because
Oh,
he's eating so
yeah,
much.
okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna say to them, okay, so here's the good news. Here's the bad news. What do you guys want first?
Just to be, hold on, just to confirm, there is like a Marine hanging out near us, right?
3.
Well, why don't you tell us both the good news and the bad news in a way that doesn't upset our friends?
Okay. Well, so here's the bad news. Apparently, that captain thinks I'm a screw up.
What?
Yeah, she said some pretty hurtful things in there.
Wow.
Also, I think she's crazy about me. She's playing hard to get.
Shoot your shot, man.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't. I'm not going to be that type of that character,
She's
I
old
guess.
enough to be your daughter for crying out loud.
That's definitely it, Captain.
Your daughter for
Was she really young? She was giving me like,
30s.
oh, okay.
Yeah, 30s.
Oh yeah, I guess she would be.
I was getting middle-aged Karen vibes from her, like really hard.
Well, I mean,
Technically speaking, since Gandhi McCore is in his 80s, that could be his granddaughter.
Yeah.
well, I mean, look, like her commanding officer is, Admiral Westing. She's
Oh,
like
your friend.
yeah, it's obvious where she gets the middle-aged Karen stuff from.
The master herself.
Is that the bad news? Admiral Westing is involved in this?
No, the bad news was I mean, she's not. I don't think she's really involved. But anyway, the bad news is that she thinks I'm a screw up.
Oh.
The good news.
Well, I mean,
is
as
that,
far as bad news goes, that's not so bad.
the good news is that apparently she wants us to help her with this mission.
Did she say what the mission was?
Nope.
Oh. I mean,
So the good news is we're probably not going to be executed. So
I assume she'll be telling us more about the mission later.
well, I think so. Hopefully.
What were you saying, April?
No, nothing. Yet.
Anyway, and wait, no, there's two guards by us, aren't there? 3 Marines. That's right. I should say this. But anyway, though, yeah. So anyway, that's everything.
Okay, well, not gonna die tomorrow. That's nice.
So she thought my book was derivative. Can you believe that?
Oh, I haven't read it.
Oh well, here's a copy.
No, it's okay. I'll get the audiobook.
Oh, okay. Well, if you do, it's narrated by me. So
Great. Hi, this is Gandhi McCore.
there's two
Thank
versions.
you for reading my book.
Yeah.
There's 2 versions: the ASMR version and the version for deaf people, where I just scream really loudly.
I'm just, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you guys, but I have serious misphonia when it comes to the sound of people chewing or mouth sounds. And
What's misophonia?
It's a psychological condition where you get triggered by certain sounds and it enrages you. Like, my partner's family all eat with their mouth open.
Oh God.
And I can't, but you don't understand. I'm not mildly annoyed
That's
by it.
fucking horrendous.
But I'm not mildly annoyed by it. It makes me sick to my, like I want to put my fist through a wall.
I think I'm
So going to a amateur beatboxing competition probably also wouldn't be great.
Well, ASMR, like when people do like the real quiet whispering with lots of mouth smacking and shit, it
clack.
I like that. That's why whenever we play video games and someone's just like chewing into their mic, I get suddenly very rageful. I cannot handle that sound. It drives me crazy.
So something kind of funny. So I do so out of game. I listen to ASMR a lot, but it's weird. It can't be.
I mean, it obviously appeals to people because like tons of people watch shit like that.
Oh yeah, it just tickles something in your brain. People used to say they listened to my chicken broadcasts because they liked the sound of my voice as I gently spoke to my chickens. And I was like, oh, people are getting their jollies off to that.
There's a fetish for everybody, right? but sorry. but anyway, though, sorry. For me, like when I say ASMR, like I can't listen to like the people talking and doing all that, just because of the fact that like that's manufactured and it's too fake for me. like I like to like listen to the more like not like accidental or like unintentional.
Yeah,
Like
I know what you mean. Because like some people on ASMR videos, they speak with as little sound like timbre in their voices as possible, and they over enunciate so that there are more mouth sounds than actual like than their actual voice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I can't do it,
Like
man. It drives me off the fucking wall.
mm, like spray painting is something that I really like to listen to. I also like to listen to kind of like
Oh, I like that. That's a pleasant sound.
also like it's weird. It
I also like the sound of like the little metal ball in the spray can, like shaking it. I really like that sound too.
yeah, yep. I also
Um,
oops, sorry.
well,
I'll
I
let
was
you get
gonna
back
say,
to the game.
yeah. So your guards at this point, two of them are leaving. Jack is staying. Jack kind of looks at you all, and says, "So, and it's getting towards nighttime. Are any of you interested in the Emperor's readings tonight, or carols, or are you looking for an early night in?"
Well, I like to take. I usually do an evening constitutional. I usually take a walk, like kind of late in the evening.
Are you staying within the city walls?
Yes.
Then that shouldn't be a problem.
Also, it looks like the locals seem fairly harmless. I don't think I would be in any danger.
No, I think at this point, the only danger that might be here might be you guys.
Oh.
And he laughs.
Well, you have our weapons, so.
Right. Um. Hmm.
So what is this?
So-
What do you mean the Emperor's read? Is he gonna like? Is he gonna read from McCur's fucking audio or book or something? She, I guess
No,
he,
no, no,
she.
no, no. Readings of the Emperor. They're basically highlights. Well, you're from the Imperium, right?
Like
Yeah,
speeches?
yeah. Well, yeah. They're speeches from various emperors throughout the Third Imperium.
Well, who's reading them?
Oh, volunteers. Usually from volunteers from worlds that are more closely related to that specific emperor.
Right. Who's reading them tonight, though?
He lists off a bunch of names.
Oh, okay.
Could I read them?
You want to volunteer to do a reading?
Sure.
What were the other choices too? By the way, the other things going on.
Caroling. Going basically from house to house, doing different carols about the emperor from around the Imperium.
So you're singing carols for the locals?
Well, the locals will hear it, but also it's to, uplift the spirits of all of
Fellowship
us
and
who
everything.
are trapped. Yeah, who are
Okay,
trapped on
okay.
on this planet. From all of the surviving crew, we represent 83 different worlds.
Wow.
So there's a lot of diversity and unity to be celebrating here for Emperor's Day.
Those do sound like glorious celebrations of our emperor's might.
I've never really considered him all that mighty, but it's better than us being in the long night again. And you would know this just off by heart from being from the Imperium. The long night was the period of time between the Second Imperium and the Third Imperium, when basically they had a dark age across the stars.
That's also the name of two of my ships in Elite Dangerous. My fleet carrier and my Anaconda class explorer.
It basically lasted about 1,700 years.
Damn.
Hey, you ever heard of this game called Warhammer? It sounds exactly like the same thing.
It's a bit different though. For one, the Emperor in this game is not eternal.
Oh, you play Warhammer?
Less hammers.
Fewer.
Thank you.
That was more of a Stannis Baratheon quote, and not a me actually correcting your grammar.
I like Stan.
That's the thing Stannis
Yeah,
Baratheon would say in Game of Thrones. If someone would use that word incorrectly, he'd go fewer.
But basically, Jack says, "Yeah. In all honesty, it doesn't matter to me how you all want to participate, since I've been assigned to you all. I just want to figure out what the logistics are going to be for tonight. Whether I need to call any other help."
What time would the captain's reading be that he's volunteering for?
Well, it's getting dark right now, so it's going to start soon.
Oh, so we could probably catch the reading, and then I can always go on my walk, like later.
Okay. So that'll be the game plan. So your characters follow Jack, and they actually lead you back to that longhouse that the Marines were training at, and now it's being kind of set up with rows upon rows of chairs, and the little platform for a speaker. You could see that there are last people who are setting up the chairs for the humans. And the humans are kind of like eating and talking and laughing as they're doing this.
Single.
So as we're walking, I'm gonna ask Jack. I'm gonna be like, "So Jack, is there like a Jill or like another Jack or?"
What do you mean?
Well, like, I mean, are you like, with anybody?
Who are you boinking, son?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not really interested in that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Me neither.
It's good to have some asexual representation.
Right.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's enough for me to be part of the Imperium and helping make it a better place.
Part of something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
I understand that, son. I get it.
It was a pretty small planet that I was from.
What planet are you from?
Oh, just a little podunk place, mostly known for farming.
Your
Most people
planet.
don't know it. It's called Our Planet.
Oh, our planet, right? Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of our planet.
How does he not know you if he's from our planet?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of our planet before. I'm from our planet.
I'm surprised that wasn't your first response to him. Just like, oh yeah. Wait a second.
Wouldn't that be our
That's
thing?
my home planet.
It's
That's
like,
our home planet.
well, of course I've heard of our planet. It's my planet too.
He brightens up and goes, "Really?
Yeah,
It's a small galaxy."
it really is, isn't it? Jack, you're okay.
Yeah, I just had to get out of that East Farm. It was just too much.
Yeah, I get it. Just looking at two suns sitting over the horizon, living with your aunt and uncle. I understand it.
But yeah, they start the reading, and it's pretty much as advertised. They're going through a list of the emperors, and each of them have kind of like a defining speech from their time on the throne. Those of you from the Imperium will probably recognize a few of their names. But, largely for those of you from Drinax, this will probably be dreadfully boring.
Oh, Andrew's trying to just mingle anyway. Unless this
Okay.
appears to be some kind of situation where everyone listens in rapt attention, and talking quietly amongst your table is discouraged. But if I can,
Yeah, it seems like each speech lasts about 5 minutes, and then there's like 5 minutes of mingling in between.
well, yeah.
But while there's a speaker speaking, everybody kind of quiets up.
Well, okay. Well, like I said, I definitely want to do some mingling. Try to catch up on some gossip. Maybe make a friend.
Okay.
I should probably do the same thing.
So for Andrew, since you asked, let's make a carouse roll. So you have a carouse of 0. So this is just going to be a straight 2d6.
11.
Damn.
You do really well. You're chatting up a lot of different people. Mostly,
You have
it
more friends
seems
now than you had an hour ago.
you're mostly chatting up technicians.
Well, like I said, anything I can glean about the situation.
There seems to be a lot of hope for people here. A lot of them are talking about what they will, that this is going to be the last Emperor's Day that they're on the moon. That they're all looking forward to getting back to their homes and their families and finally finishing this mission. There's a few of them that are wistful of crew members that they lost 3 years ago to the weapon.
Definitely want to find more about what happened that they ended up here, and how many.
So you do get told there by people if you do ask about them. They're fairly open about it, especially the people that you've been chatting up. That it seems to be some sort of ancient weapon that they're going to be dealing with soon, according to the captain. And it stopped the shipyards in its tracks completely and ended up wiping out more than 95% of the crew.
Damn.
And they were the lucky few who managed to get on to lifeboats and get to the surface. At the end of the readings, you could see groups are going off, starting to do caroling throughout the town.
Hold on, did Gani McCord not do a reading?
Yeah, Gani McCord can do a reading. If you want to roll for it, you can.
Okay.
You get asked if you want to do it off by heart or to read from their data pad.
The heart.
Yeah,
The heart?
Ryder doesn't need to read off.
Oh, the heart. Oh,
Data
okay.
pad.
Sorry.
From memory.
Okay. What rolls better?
Well, one of them you're just reading off a pad, and the other one you will if you want to make it more of a performance, you can roll from it, even if you're rolling from a pad. But it's a harder roll if you're trying to just recall something.
Oh, okay. I'll set it from the heart.
Okay.
You must have something.
I'm
Maybe something
looking at.
put it in your book.
It doesn't have. Check.
He probably has something on top of his head.
Can I just start saying it?
Well, you have art too. Would history be? No. Actually, speeches might be considered under art. So let's say 2d6 plus 3.
Okay. 6.
Okay. Gani McCord has a bit of a rough go of it. He tries to kind of recall an emperor, and he remembers that they did have an emperor named Gustus at one point, and for a second, you are positive you remember this brilliant speech that he had. And you start saying it, and as you are all in the crowd, you notice people start to look a bit uncomfortable. Actually, for Ukluna, as he's like now halfway through this, can you roll for Ukluna 2d6 plus 2?
14.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, Max. That's
Th-
sweet.
there was an Emperor Augustus, and what Ukluna is saying now is definitely not something that Emperor Augustus ever said. What he's saying is a very kind of like popular commercial that they put out for like Emperor branded like
Why don't you
space.
just let him say it? Just let him say the.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he's halfway through now, and someone
But just let him read
can
it.
talk.
Just let him say it.
Okay. And so you're about halfway through, and at this point, Gunny McCore, you could see Jack from the audience kind of waving at you and being like, "No, no, not."
I'll wave back. And okay. Can I see that I'm losing the crowd and like just go off script?
You're already off
Roll.
script.
You're already off script. Roll 2d6 plus 3.
Well, okay, but do you mind if I do read something though?
You want to read something?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, sure. In character.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Citizens of the Imperium, today, beneath the gaze of countless stars, we stand united. One people, one voice, one destiny. Look to the heavens and know the truth. The light that guides us is not born of chance or fleeting power, it is the unwavering brilliance of our Emperor. His hand shapes the galaxy, steady as the ancient forge that built our first worlds. His vision extends beyond the horizons of mortal lives, a beacon that lives us all. In war, his courage becomes our shield of peace, his wisdom it's the soil of prosperity.
I love this
Every
speech.
law, right? Every
A
law,
woman stands up at this point and says, "Oi, Emperor Augustus never said any of this shit."
Hey, sit down! I'll scream at her.
look,
Another
The Emperor
person
was a
says,
saint
"She's
for
right."
saying all of these things.
well, I'm kind of going off script here. Every law we cherish, every border we defend, carries the weight of his justice. Who among us has not felt his presence? The ship that soared through void and storm do so by his command. The stars that gleam above reflect the crown he wears, not as a burden, but as a rightful seal of his dominion. Let no doubt fester in your hearts. There is no distance it's like in our reach. No shadow that does not flee before him. And as we gather in the square, let us remember the Imperium does not exist because the stars chose us, and endures because he chose to lead us. Hail the Emperor, long may he reign as eternal as the heavens.
I'm gonna stand up and
You,
start clapping.
you get a smattering of kind of like embarrassed applause.
My applause for
And
you
then-
is
and
not embarrassed. Akluna is clapping.
And then the next speaker kind of comes up, and as they come up, they pat your shoulder and be like, that was inspired.
For if you think about it, each emperor lives inside of us. In our hearts. So really, are we not all emperors on this day?
Okay. His face gets pale when you say that. It's like, no, I would not say we are all emperors.
For does the emperor not love each of us individually?
Right, well,
I'm going to gesture wildly at him to get the fuck off the stage now, so that we're not executed for treason.
Okay. Well, I'll be like, anyways, I'll sit back down and be like, so how did I do, guys?
You did great. I
Awesome.
personally liked
Andrew
your
shrugs
speech.
helplessly because she has no idea.
I thought it
if
was a
she's
good
even-
speech, and I think that anyone who disagrees with it is probably treasonous.
Right?
All right. So
Happy about that,
at
Rich.
this point, the rest of the speeches go pretty smoothly. And then Jack asks you if you all want to do caroling.
Sure.
What time is it?
At this point, it's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys gonna do caroling? I don't really like to sing.
Slems likes any chance to be loud, especially in public.
Jack grins at you and says, "Hey, whenever you finish a carol, it's their duty to feed you and give you drink."
His eyes light up at this, and a holiday twinkle can be seen. You know,
I think Akluna is gonna go on a nice long 2-hour relaxed stroll through the city.
All right. Hold on just 1 second.
Andrew
see
goes
him-
with Slems, but she is very much pacing herself on purpose, paying more attention to people than overeating and overdrinking. Just whatever, as little as she can politely get by with, and still trying to kind of get the tone of people and the lay of the land.
Okay. So the caroling will continue on with that. Gany McCord, is he going caroling?
No, actually, he might go with Okluna if that's okay.
I would prefer to walk alone, Captain, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, sure. He might go with. Okay, so Andrew's going with Slums. Okluna's going off by himself. Gandhi McCurl just do the Charlie Brown walk, looking sad.
You go back to the barracks.
Boo, 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 ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo.
Okay, so he'll go off to the barracks then. Early to bed, early to rise, and all that. So the caroling will go fairly smoothly. You have Jack right there with you. People are friendly. They'll chat up with you all. It does seem like not only are they very festive, but these seem like people who were brought to the edge, who now seemingly see a light at the end of the tunnel.
nerds.
And are very hopeful.
I'm sorry, did you say they were edged?
Who had been brought to the edge.
Ah, okay.
One other thing.
Hmm?
One other thing while we're kind of out and about, if I am looking for an opportunity, if somebody drops their communicator or leaves it on the table, to palm it and put it in my suit pocket.
You have not noticed somebody with a communicator other than a Marine so far.
Okay. But they don't have tablets or anything of that nature?
You have only noticed one tablet tonight, and that was for the reading. Otherwise, you have noticed quite a few last people that have been running around the town, clutching papers.
Oh, they're still okay. Well, that's good to know that they don't have central comms except for the troops. It's good. That's a good thing to know.
Well, no, I think the only way they communicate with one another is by sending their dragons from.
No, I mean the average rank and file.
Oh, the troops.
Not Marine.
Yeah.
The average not troops, Imperial citizen.
Yeah, gotcha.
And you also, at this point, so you've learned a few names, and everybody seems to be talking about this will all probably be over with in around a week.
Like I said, if I can pry any information out of people, I will. What's changed? You've been here for 3 years. Kind of.
They will basically say, well, we're making it's no secret we've been making these ships. So we're probably heading to that island.
That's where the weapon is, isn't it?
Presumably.
That's what our scans would have indicated.
So, while this is happening and you're continuing the caroling, Ukluna heads to the city wall. There you can see it looks like there's been a reveler that's had a bit too much alcohol and is busily kind of like throwing up next to the gate. Is kind of just hunched over.
I'm gonna stand a respectful distance, but not say anything.
The person kind of finishes throwing up and just kind of wipes their mouth with the side of their sleeve and like looks over to you and says, "You, you got something like a napkin or something?"
It's the ghost of Imperium days past.
Can I produce a handkerchief or something, or a napkin from dinner?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll hand it to him.
You pass it over to him, and he kind of takes it, wets it a little bit with his tongue, and instead of pressing it against his mouth, starts to wipe at the corner of his jaw, and then peels off his face.
Wait, what?
You see underneath an older woman that you recognize immediately as the first handler that you ever had in the Imperium intelligence service, Vera.
Well,
She looks at you and says, "What the hell are you doing here, boy?"
I'm gonna tell you. I got to this planet and I've met dragons. I've met people who can make communicators out of their skin. I did not think I would see you here.
The feeling is mutual. I told you before you left. No, don't put yourself in any more danger. They broke your body enough times.
Well, they found ways to break it more. Just within just since we've last seen each other.
She sighs. Look, there's a lot of problems happening, and I know you're no longer with the service, right?
That's correct.
Or are you? Okay.
No, I'm out now. Retired.
Good. If you know any, I think we're in trouble here. And I clocked you once you came in. Do you have? Look, remember how I told you always have an escape plan in place?
We yes.
You need to use it. Get out of here. I don't see anything good happening out of this system.
Why? Why are you in disguise? What?
You know how the intelligence service likes to have a member or two involved in any military engagement, correct?
Yes.
I happen to be the unlucky SOB that got assigned to this fucking shipyard before all the shit went down.
Okay, so maybe you can clear up a couple of mingling questions I've had then. What is the nature of your captain's relationship with your local dragon?
Oh, that fucking thing? From what I'm seeing, it's some sort of, some crock of bullshit where they're scheming together to get off this world. But honestly speaking, I don't think this thing should get off this world.
Why?
Have you been near one of them?
Yeah, I mean, we had an encounter with another one. It was not. It didn't go spectacularly.
Now, we are on a remote world with very little technology. Imagine one of those things unleashed on a proper world.
What is the so have you guys just kind of like enslaved the locals here? Like they just work for you now?
She starts to speak, but then someone passes by side street, and she just kind of pulls you in close, and then says, "Oh, help! I dropped that over there, and can you?" And then as the person passes by, she goes, "Look, I'm not involved with any of the decisions that they're making with these locals. I honestly think these locals are a lot smarter than the brass is giving them. But right now, their focus is on surviving."
Surviving you.
The locals?
You mean the Imperials are focused on surviving, you mean?
Yeah, the Imperium forces are focused on surviving, and which basically they've gone default colonizer mode as a result of it.
Yeah. So let me run a little theory past you real quick, and you tell me how close I am to what you understand the truth to be. Your captain has probably struck a deal with a dragon to get you off world and get the shipyard on its way if they've agreed to help the dragon escape.
From my understanding, it's probably something akin to that.
And it probably has something to do.
From my understanding is that by no means can there be any higher level tech that gets anywhere near that island.
Right, because there's a weapon there, and so the weapon needs to be disabled before you guys can leave. The dragon probably has offered to help with that.
And apparently, it's incapable of going anywhere near that island.
The dragon is?
From my understanding, yes.
Okay.
In fact, one of the stipulations is that they have to have a number of these natives along with this journey. That it's integral.
To go over to the island, you mean?
Yes, but boy, I have a lot of plans in place, and I think you might be able to help me, and maybe help you in the process, because sometimes what's good for a small Imperium crew is not good for the rest of the Imperium at large. And I have an inkling that these so-called dragons are a much greater threat to the Imperium than our shipyard going missing.
Finally, somebody gets it.
Do you want to join me one more time for one last mission to make sure that their mission doesn't succeed? And we are going to leave it off there for tonight.
I'll answer you I'll come back next week and I'll answer you. Please wait 1 week, lady.
For my reply.
Yeah. I'll send it via Signal Pigeon.
All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the holiday-themed session.
Oh, was that our
Part of it.
Festivus episode?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it's actually funnier now that Gani McClure made a speech that left everyone very confused.
I was slightly ticked off.
You almost ruined Christmas.
Well, hey, you know what? I did my best. Okay.
You did. It was a good speech.
Hey, I'm surprised. Well, actually, no, I'm not surprised now that I know, like, Gani McClure is kind of, like, mode, but, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if you had tried to stab that captain with your sword.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could have. It's not that I don't want to. It's that
What good would it have done? You know, it's like
Yeah.
they still have like a whole regiment of Marines in like battle gear, right?
Yeah, and I feel like, one bird goes in there and sees their captain dead or missing. They're like, oh shit.
Oh no, she did it herself. She said she wanted me to take over.
She
I
was
have
always
thought
so
you might-
klutzy.
I have thought you might have a like Han Solo moment of oh well, didn't like her anyway.
Well, I mean, he doesn't now
It was a
because
boring conversation anyway.
she was a jerk to him.
She's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, and also I mean, okay, yeah, did Ghana McCore like go out on the best terms with like the Imperial military? No, but like the whole I feel like the whole screw up thing is just slander though. From
She went after your book and she brought your sister into it. Like,
right, like, geez.
how are you not going to take that personally?
I mean, sure, my career, sure, but my book, I mean, come on now.
Speaking of Han
My
Solo,
family, sure. My career, fine. My book, how dare you?
fuck you.
Right.
Speaking of Han Solo, tomorrow 7:00, I'll be playing some Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. At the same time, we won't. Obviously, we just did our Gungans and Dragons episode for this week, so and then throughout the week, I'm probably gonna be playing that game a lot. Actually, I've been rather enjoying it, and then we'll have some Battlefront and whatever else later on. So make sure you check us out wherever we are: Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube. We're on Blue Sky now, by the way. And if you want to join us on Discord, the link to that is in the description of this video. You can go check it